When I hover the S Pen, you see a dot, right? Now, we have this button on the S Pen. If I press this, it invokes a fan type menu, which is called Air Command. Air Command is a great feature which has 5 different features inbuilt into that. So I'll talk each one of them. So what you do is, you take your S Pen anywhere on the screen, and it could be any type of application you could be running, and you just hover your S Pen, press the button, and you invoke the Air Commands. So there are 5 features. Let me just run through very quickly. You have something called Action Memo. We have Scrapbook, Screen Write, S Finder, and Pen Window. So these 5 features really, unearths the power of the Note 3 and allows you to do a plethora of things that was unmanageable earlier. So let's start with a demo of Action Memo. So I invoke the Air Command, and I go to Action Memo. Okay? So it opens a memo. Now, typically what happens is, when you are traveling or you're busy, you want to jot down a number or an address or even an email. You could write down a paper, but then of course you have Note 3 with you. So for example, I want to write down a number of my colleague, say Aditya. So I write down and say his number is 98100 76544. Okay. So what I do is I can write down and forget. It will automatically keep it there in my Note 3. I can always come back, and all I have to do is do something called link to action, and it will give me a number of options. I can actually make a phone call at this number. I can save under contacts. I could also send SMS to Aditya. In fact, if I had his email address, I could send an email as well. Or if I had his address, I could just press map, and it will take me to the address which I put down. So, for example, if I want to save, so there's a call coming, just pardon me. So this is where I did not save it, for example. That's a perfect example of what. So I want to save it on the contacts. There you go. I've got Aditya there and his number. I save it here, and that's where the action memo is, and I can refer it back anytime. It just gets minimized. I can open it, what I had written. So I could write notes as well along with that. So it's as simple as that. So really, action memo allows you to capture information in Jiffy. Otherwise, you would lose out normally. So this is a great example of what the action memo could do. That leads me to the next feature, which is called the circle, of course. Now, circle is very interesting. The concept of circle is really comes from something called Scrapbook. And I'll talk about Scrapbook. Scrapbook is just like Scrapbook, and we literally call it Scrapbook because we can save all our contents in one place. And it's simple and very, very useful, and I've been using it for the last couple of days. And I'm going to do another demonstration of this. So I like to cook, I have one passion. And the other day I was looking at some of the recipes and wanted to make tiramisu, how to make a tiramisu. So typically what you would do is, and you would do all the time, and go to different URLs, different websites, and you'll forget them. So for example, I open, say, YouTube, and I say I want to go to some tiramisu recipes. So you open up various recipes, and I say I want to say I like this one. I open that up. skip this ad. So this is a a video playing. So I like this recipe. So what I do is I take my S Pen, I invoke the air command feature, and I press scrapbook. And all I have to do is remember what I said earlier, circle. I like this recipe. And what it does is it takes me that URL to the scrapbook. Now I can save that under various sections. I could save under recipe, or if I was searching on sports, I can save under sports, or I can create a whole new category with different layouts. So this way, all of us have certain passions. Imagine we would have access to all this URLs, all this information that we can get access to whenever we want. And I save it on the recipe and I press OK. Now I just go back and here's my scrapbook which I open, and that's the information which I saved. These are my categories, and if I go to recipe, I just press here. Now this is the video which I have saved, right? Now if I want to go back to the same thing, all I have to do is press the link button here, and it'll take me exactly where I was earlier. So isn't that brilliant, right? It's absolutely fantastic. So you have this whole lot of information that you can use.
This is one feature I personally love. A lot of time we want quick access to certain applications like a clock or a calculator, and normally again it's about making your everyday life easier. It's about just pressing this magical pen. So here my magical fan opens, I click here, I just draw a box. So here my calculator, I click it, I can do a quick calculation. What's more, I can actually just minimize it and open another application. All of a sudden I realize I need to set an alarm. Say select, and I set alarm. So it's about making your everyday life easier. Isn't it really amazing and new way of multitasking?
Yeah.